Hello. So I think I may have solved the mystery of the internet. Guys, I hope so. Welcome, welcome. Let me adjust things here for a moment. Welcome. As you can see, it's a beautiful afternoon in my world. And I thought I would take advantage of that and hop online and say hello to a few people and spread some love and joy and sunshine. I'm having my sunshine outfit today to spread some love and joy around. Okay, let me get my notes here. I do have a few things I've been reflecting on. And yeah. Okay. So I believe that now I hope I have resolved the issue of the internet situation. You know how it's been so fuzzy before? But I think I may have resolved it by not having on any other device in the house. So we're going to try it. I hope that you guys will send me a note and let me know how it's doing. Hi, hi, hi. I'm just going to wait a few minutes as people begin to dawn. And if you guys just say, hey, when you get on. Also, somebody send me up a note and say if it's clear. This is a new test today. That I think if there's nothing else, I'm not using any other devices on Wi-Fi. This might be working at last. I hope so. I hope so. Okay, so I don't need these. I have my AirPods. Take these out. How's everybody? What is today? It's Wednesday, I believe. Mwah! Running into each other, aren't they? Like, what day is it? What day is it? It's all the same. It's like weekend, weekday. Can anybody tell the difference? Are any of you still having to go to work? It's clear. Hi, Boris. Awesome. Thank you for letting me know. Are you working from home now? Is anybody still having to go into work? This is my office most days, either here or upstairs in my bedroom. I'm fortunate like that. And this is my I work on all the time. So I started my morning with some work. And now it is, what time is it? Like 3 something? So now I'm just cooling out. It's beautiful. I had on my bathing suit earlier. I think I might go hop in the pool when I'm done here. Because it's starting to warm up, right? Springtime officially at last. And so it's starting to warm up. And, you know, makes a girl want to hop in the swimming pool. I went in the other day and lapsed. Because, you know, being stuck at the house, even here, you know, I need to move. I'm not able to go to the gym anymore. I don't have any more dance classes. And, you know, you sit around the house, you start munching all day long. Uh-oh, wait a minute. So I don't want to backslide. So I did some laps in the pool the other day. And then my son jumped in with me and we did like some calisthenics, all kinds of stretches and bends and kicks and jogging and all that stuff, trying to keep it together. So how are you guys holding up? I'm hoping that people are managing to stay at least fairly consistent with different aspects of your life, right? Like if you have a place to work out, someplace maybe to walk outside. I know, of course, you know, you're not to walk or be outside for long for non-essential purposes and not in any groups, but there are places, you know, if you don't have something in your home or in like a gym in your house. Boris, you have a gym, right? Or if the weather's good and you can get outside and take a walk, that might be nice. I actually crept out to the beach a couple days ago because we needed to get out. I needed to get my son out. You know, he's pretty comfortable in the house, but I wanted to get him out. And so it was great. We went to the beach. There was basically nobody there. I think we saw maybe 2, 3, 4, like maybe 5 people the whole time. And they were like, you know, way over there, way over there. And so that was nice. But, you know, I'm always on here trying to focus on things that are going to be good for people and uplift us and help us stay positive. I've told a couple of friends of mine, you know, who I know mean really well, and they're just going to keep me abreast of what's sort of happening around the world. These are people who live in different parts of the world. and I'll get like messages at different times of the day saying, you know, this many people died, or this is the latest sort of catastrophe that's predicted. And I was like, you know, I don't really want to, I don't really want to hear all the doom and gloom news. I'm not for that. And one of my friends responded, well, you know, you don't want to keep your head buried in the sand. I'm like, well, that's true. I'm not trying to be ignorant of things, but you know, it's hard not to hear news, whether it's about your particular state or country or town, or just in general. And so I'm aware of it. If you're on whatever type of social media site, that's really all there is right now. But so I have like a general sense, you know, of which leader is saying this, or the latest reported such and such. But I definitely don't stay for long. I really don't. Number one, I have stuff to do. I do have work to do. And it just feels better to me when I'm not focused on that. I can't imagine spending my time, setting my mental energy being focused on that type of news, that type of like news cycle. It just doesn't feel good. So, so here's the thing. Okay, so for a long, long time, I've been really, I have been focused on putting certain types of things in my brain, like focusing my energies and my efforts and my on things that I feel are going to help me grow and develop and become better and more fulfilled and like close to my purpose, whatever, you know, I decide that is. And, you know, your purpose can change. You may feel like right now you want to focus on your career and, you know, you want to get to a certain point with that. Or maybe your purpose becomes you want to become, you know, let's talk about health, well-being, things like that. Whatever it is, whatever you feel like you want to do, you want to become more spiritual. You want to, you know, have a better practice. I don't know, but I mean, so for a long time, I've been focusing on those areas of my life and how I want to see things develop in those areas, which means that, you know, I've read a bunch of books. I said before, I tend to sometimes not finish them. I have a bad habit of not always finishing books that I start, but I've done pretty well with those types of books where it's like, you know, how to get more life, things like that. Like I think I may have mentioned before, I've been reading the Rich and back, I look at something else, I go back. So that one's like really just, it's almost, I think it's kind of like basic investing and like knowledge about how to build wealth. And it's not rocket science. It's like, you know, put the first 10%, pay yourself first, right? Put the first 10% of whatever you receive, big or small, from whatever source, set the first 10% aside for you. You can count whatever you do with it, put it aside, and then when it remains, you choose how to manage that. So that's really good. So that's one of the areas I definitely want to see some improvement and some growth in, is my financial life. And I have other resources that I go to for like my spiritual development and like kind of, I guess I call it manifestation. So I have a coach. You know, I offer what I offer that comes from me, but I also hear things from other people. And like I said, resources like books and things that I read, and I try to share that. So I spend a lot of time doing that type of work. You know, as I've said many times now, I wake up in the morning and I just say a little prayer before I get out of bed. I just speak some positivity over my life, and today's going to be a great day. I have my journal. This is my latest one. My thoughts. See that? Got this as a Christmas gift. Did you see that? B, go. Go. Try to be one with nature, but there is a limit. Oh my god, speaking of which, there's this giant fly in my room last night. I swear to you, it looked like a spider like that with legs and wings. It was disgusting. And it sounded like a helicopter when it was buzzing around. It was awful. It started downstairs, and then when I went upstairs to go to bed, it followed me. It was awful. So I had to do away with it. And I have those, have you guys seen those? It looks like a tennis racket, but it's actually a bug zapper. Come on now, go somewhere. Go on. So I have two of these things. They look like tennis rackets, but they have like the wire, like where the mesh is, and you press a little button on the handle, and if you hit a button, it's like it zaps it. So I was trying to zap the fly last night, but it was buzzing all around crazy. I couldn't get it. So I just resorted to some. I have like it's not an aerosol, but it's like a pump, a bug spray. So when it landed, I got it, and it died a slow, painful death, I guess. whatever. My theory is, look, you have the whole outdoors. Look at all this beautiful outdoors here, all that. Why do you have to come in my house? So you come in my house, cross my threshold. It's fair game. I'm killing you. Anyway, anywho, I was saying that I spend a lot of time and energy and money, if I look at all the years now, on personal development, right? Maybe that seems like a cliche, corny term, but it is personal development. I'm trying to improve myself and be the best person that I can be. And it's like having a long-term workout goal, you know? I think a lot of people, especially with what's happening now, I think a lot of people feel discouraged because they're like, okay, well, either I can't, how can I think positive in the midst of all this chaos? And how can I feel good about this? And Kelly, you say all this crap about, you know, be positive, blah, 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 but you're not facing reality. And I say, you get to decide what reality you want to face, right? So if you want to face, again, the news reports constantly, everything everyone's putting online, if you want that to be your reality, face that. And then you get the results of that, right? If that makes you feel like crap, then, well, that's been your decision. That's your choice. But you can also, what your reality is, whatever you decide it is. You can decide you're a unicorn and dance around like a unicorn and, you know, see the results of that. Or you can decide, look, I am a healthy person. I am financially stable. I do have all the sources I need. And you may not see it right this minute, but I promise you, let me give you an example. I promise you, if you continue to speak word and maybe write down your journal and focus on things that make you feel good and focus on news that is uplifting and focus on finding the silver lining, all that stuff, I've been through this before, you will see things that come up in your life that help to support that belief. Here's an example. So I tell you all the time that I practice stuff, right? I say good things, I speak positive things, I write in my journal about what I want and how I see my life being. It's all really wonderful. And I don't get caught up in the negative stuff. And then, and I had no idea, mind you, how I was going to pay this bill and the next bill. Of course you have to be positive, right? There, Alan, co-sign on that. But you know, I'm no different from you guys, as I've said. I don't know how I'm going to pay for the next month and the next month and next month. You know, I don't know, and I'm going to like charge a bunch of stuff on my credit card, and then what? And I have to pay that back, right? So, what am I going to do? But I don't care. I'm not looking at like, oh no, what's going to happen here? The bee is back. Please go away. Please go away. Maybe if I just let it buzz around, it'll find its way. It'll go away. No, I don't want to kill bees because I know we need them, but I really would like for it to go away. Okay, it seems to have gone. So what I was saying is, even though I have the same questions as everybody else, how am I going to make money? How am I going to, you know, do everything? I'm not choosing to stay there and be like a panic state or a fearful state, like I don't know, and it's going to be a problem, and what if this, or, you know, oh my gosh, you know, I feel a tickle in my throat. You know, everyone's always like, if you cough now, you're like, oh, what's happening? And so I'm not doing that. Yes, I've had moments where I felt like that, whether it's a cough or a bank account situation or whatever. Of course I have those moments. But instead, I just keep speaking and believing and knowing that I'm completely deserving of everything I want. And my dreams, in fact, are getting bigger. They're getting bigger and more detailed. And I don't feel like that means that I'm a greedy, bad person. Not at all. Not at all. Because the more I have, the more I can give. The more I can give, the more I give, the more I receive. I don't mean money. I mean like my time. You know, more freedom, more flexibility. There's that cough. I told you about. Uh-oh. Let me sip some tea. I just made this tea the other day. It's mint tea. It's very clear. But anyway, I just steeped some mint leaves in here with a little sugar. It's quite good. And refreshing. But yeah, I have those same concerns, but I don't like buy into it. I know that I'm supposed to be abundant and doing what they're supposed to do. My organs are at their best state, all that stuff. So what I'm trying to get to is that as a result of continuing to do this, say this kind of stuff all the time, ding, what happens yesterday? A friend of mine who lives in Africa, I won't say which country because I have a few friends over there, but one of those countries, contacted me and said, hey, are you able to set up a company for someone in the US? I was like, yeah. Another person who lives in another country. So this is going to be a 3-country deal, right? Somebody wants a U.S. company established. I was like, awesome, great, And so we had a brief conference call last night, and another call today with the new client. And so now I have to do some research and find out which state is the best for businesses. Surprisingly, the number 1 state that I found, hey, excuse me, or number 1 or one of the top states is Wyoming. Why? 0 income tax, 0 corporate tax. That's a good start. There's another one like that, or another 1 or 2 anyway. Nevada, there's a few. So I'm going to be looking into some of those things and try to find out, what's the best place for this person to start a business. And it would be online based, naturally. But, and there's certainly, trust me, there's things about this that I don't know the answers to. It's not like, oh yeah, I'm just an expert in all this stuff. No, I mean, I have a basis of knowledge, but I don't know everything. So just like you or anybody else, I'd have to go and do some research and find these things out. My point in saying this is that I have not given up believing that somehow doors are going to open and things are going to work out so that I don't have to be stressed out about how am I going to pay my bills next month? How am I going to, whatever. How am I going to pay off this credit card I've just charged a bunch of food on recently, right? How am I going to, whatever. I'm not going to do that. And I also mentioned recently that, so the State Department now is issuing daily alerts, right? Before it was like this week, that week, a little bit of information here and there. Definitely saying Americans need to go home because basically you're going to be on your own. I mean, you're never really on your own. I'm saying like things have completely shut down for the most part. And so to get into the embassy, what is with this bee? Maybe it's my tea. Maybe it smells my tea. Go away. I'm going to cover up my tea, you guys. Hold on. Because I don't want to have to kill a bee right now, but I will. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Okay, I'm covering. I'm going to put a little book on my tea here and see if that works. Hang on. Okay, let's hope that has solved the problem. So I was talking about the embassy, saying that the embassy has been sending alerts. And they've gone from like, I think weekly to daily, where it's now they're talking about the death toll, like how many people are confirmed cases, how many people are dead. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's a little unsettling for sure to hear that. Like, okay, we're running out of hospital beds, all this stuff. And okay, you want to go home? And I keep going, no, I don't. I feel much better here. I do. I mean, here's the thing. So here in the DR, I think it's like roughly 1,000 confirmed cases and like 50, maybe 57 deaths as a result of COVID. I don't want to do that. Plus, to get home, you got to go be in an airport with a bunch of people who are all freaked out. The energy's horrible, and it's like fear and potentially contamination and airplane with this it's very closed space where you're all breathing the same air. Nah, why would I do that? And then just the feeling in the United States of just utter panic and chaos and lockdown. I don't even like the way that sounds. That sounds like Delaware is a corporation. I don't know. I know a lot of corporations go through Delaware, but I'm not convinced that's the best state, actually, Alan. I'm doing some more research on that. I'm not convinced that's the best state. So we'll see. Thank you, though. I appreciate it. Yeah, Delaware tends to be a go-to for a lot of people or a lot of corporations, but I'm not convinced yet. I'm gonna do a little bit more research and find out. So anyway, no, I mean, look, I'm staying here, right? As I said, some people may go, oh, well, look, of course you feel comfortable because you're there. Look, you get to whatever. No wonder. And I'm like, no, there are plenty of people here, as I said, who one are fearful about what's going to happen if this economy, or if or when, right, this economy falls apart, like all the other ones are doing, because this economy is heavily based on tourism. Tourists have left the building for sure. And so what does it mean for the rest of the country, for the regular working people? What are they going to do? There are people here who are afraid, for sure. I mean, there's people all over the world who are afraid. So just being in a location, you can live in a mansion anywhere in the world you want to and still be afraid. You can have, you can drive fancy cars and have a bunch of money in the bank and still be worried about money. So it's like your circumstances don't dictate what your thoughts are, what your beliefs are. In fact, it's quite the opposite. Your beliefs, if you hold on to them long enough and you practice them, those will dictate what your circumstances are. In other words, you can have no money, but still believe that you're going to be okay. You can still believe that you have everything you need. You can look around and see evidence of abundance. You can look around and see evidence that the universe is taking care of us, right? And that can lead you to, number one, feel better, and then number two, because it's all energy, and one like, to use the sort of example, one positive molecule bumps into another one and connects and connects and connects. It becomes a chain reaction of good, of positive belief, and of hope, and those kinds of things. And so eventually the results match what the belief is. So I'm just committed to this way of life. I certainly don't have the intention of going backward, of thinking about things in a negative, scary place. And I've asked myself, I'm like, okay, I recognize I do have a good situation now. I live in a comfortable home. I'm in a beautiful country. I still feel like I have a relative amount of freedom. We're not unlike, the kind of situation where they're saying don't leave your house at all. It's definitely recommended that we not go out at all, and that, it's only essential services. But people are still going to the beach. I mean, when I drove to the grocery store the other day, I saw people, who were out doing, I don't know, whatever. I mean, people need to go out and just kind of, get their sanity, go to take a walk or things like that. And so I recognize that I'm living a certain privilege by being here right now. I recognize that, but it was a choice I made. And remember, when I came here just over 2 years ago, there were some people at home who were like, what are you doing? You're crazy. What if it doesn't work? You're going to sell your car. You're going to sell everything you have. That doesn't make any sense. Well, all the same people right now, not just now, but even when I went home last year, we're like, oh my gosh, you got out of the matrix, and well, how do I do it too? And how did you know? And I'm like, I didn't know. I just decided that I wanted to have a different lifestyle. So in the moments that we make those decisions, it doesn't always look like the best decision, at least to people on the outside, right? Inside of yourself what feels right. And so I would say, pay attention to how you're feeling. Your feelings are like your compass, like that meter inside. It's like, this is like the empty zone. This is full, right? If you're feeling like, it's making you feel depleted, choose something else. Choose a different thought that makes you feel like, okay, that feels better, right? I'm not going to panic. I'm not going to engage in arguing. I'm not even talking about just what's happening now. I'm talking about in general, right? You could be in a relationship and have like a tension with somebody all the time, and you're always trying to explain your position and tell them no, why that doesn't make sense, and this is why it should be, and this is the problem, it's because you don't do this, or you're no good with paying bills, or whatever it is. If that creates tension in you and that causes you anxiety and you can't sleep, or you just feel like crap all the time, then stop having that conversation. Stop engaging in that type of behavior with that person. Either don't say anything, or find a way to interact with that person where you're not constantly trying to convince them that they are wrong. Why bother? If they're not convinced, if they believe that what they're doing or saying or how they're handling their business, their life is working, you may not agree with it, and you're for example, let's say you're married, your finances may be tied to that person, but you don't have to constantly have the conversation saying this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong, right? Because it's not changing anything, it's making you feel worse. So what can you do? Well, is there a way to manage your money separately? Are you able to separate, you have an account where it's just a certain amount that you get to spend the way you want to, and that other person spends the money in the way they want to, and then maybe you have a pool, a common pool for household expenses. That could be something. Are you able to manage completely the household income? I'm using this example again, if a couple in a relationship, a marriage, or people living together. Maybe you're able to step in and okay, if that person doesn't want to do it the way you think is best, are you able to negotiate taking over, let's say for a period of time, okay, for the next month or 3 months, I'll pay the bills and let's see how that works out. If it doesn't, you go back to paying the bills the way you want to do them, right? I know someone, for example, a couple, and if one party handles the payments, everything gets paid late, right? And then there's late fees, and there's just stress, and credit can be impacted, all that. But if the other party handles it, typically things get paid on time and what have you. And there's tension though, because the one person wants to tell the other person all the time, you're wrong, because you should do it my way, because when I do it my way, we don't have to deal with these late payments and it's not stressful. But the stress because the one who wants to keep telling the other person that they're wrong and keep making it about that. And so oh my God, my cat, I sit here every day now, right? All the time I'm out in the patio, and every day I see her hop over the wall with something dangling from her mouth. Today it's another lizard, and I can't. I try to save them sometimes, but I can't save it. She doesn't eat them, she just kills them like for sport. Anyway, my point is that you may not be able to change the other person's behavior, at least maybe not to start, but you're going to frustrate yourself less if you stop having those difficult interactions with them. Hola, Kayla, ¿cómo estás? Estoy muy bien, gracias. Gracias por mirar. ¿Habla inglés o no? So yeah, so you just want to find ways of dealing in your life, period. Let's say it's just yourself, right? That are less stressful, they create less resistance in you. Let's say you want to lose 10 pounds, 20 pounds, but you're like, okay, I can never eat any more chocolate. I can never eat this. I'm going to go on a strict, like, for 30 days, no carbs, no sugar, no wheat, no, like, nothing. If you can do that, more power to you. I find that to be very difficult and very, like, restrictive in a like, what is it? Like a punitive kind of way almost. It feels like, okay, where's your enjoyment? What are you going to enjoy? What do you get to eat that you feel good about? You don't want to eat stuff that just is like bland, boring. You know, I mean, at least me, when I eat, I want to feel good about my food. And I can feel good about eating healthy food. But sometimes I have some sugar. Sometimes I want to have a piece of bread or whatever. And so if you're doing those things and it makes you feel like it's a drag, it's stressful, it's like, you know, it's hard, it's so hard to get through that, maybe it's too much, right? Maybe you just want to take one thing and go, okay, the next week, maybe just like, I'm not going to have any sugar for a week, right? Maybe you still go wine in the evenings, maybe you still have your bread with dinner, whatever your thing is, you still do that. Or if you don't want to cut anything out, you go, okay, instead of having a glass of wine every night, I'll have a glass of wine 3 days a week. We're going to have bad times here. You're talking about in the US? Listen, I'm not going to negate the fact that there's a lot of stuff that's happening all over the world that's really impacting people in very harsh ways. I recognize that. Like I said, I do read news reports. I see what's happening. I recognize that not just the US economy, but economies all over the world are in a free fall in a lot of ways because of this. So I'm not trying to suggest like, oh, just imagine sunshine, you're gonna have sunshine. I'm not suggesting that, but I am suggesting that even in the midst of what can be a disastrous time for many, you have to have, well, you don't have to, but you can choose to. Oh, great, thank you, Kayla. I'm glad you're catching the live too. So Alan, I'm speaking to your point now. Yes, of course, countries like the Dominican Republic and others, and the U.S. I mean, there's so many. If you're what's considered non-essential business right now, what do? I spoke with a friend of mine recently, today, in fact, who's a photographer. Her business is considered non-essential, so she can't do wedding photography. First of all, weddings are being canceled right and left, or at least rescheduled. She can't go out and photograph. What's she going to photograph, right? So that's a non-essential business, and it's presenting difficulties, not just for her, but for many, many people. Most of us are considered non-essential. If you're not like a healthcare worker, if you're not providing food to people, if you're not providing like emergency services, those kinds of things, or essential services like, you know, utilities, what have you, you're just kind of on your own for the time being. And so you're going to have to recreate your own sense of almost identity in a way, like your sense of well-being. What do you do? What do you do when you're told you can't go open a boutique and sell clothes because it's not essential? What do you do when you can't, I don't know, start your business if it's considered non-essential? You're going to have to think of a new paradigm. You're going to have to shift your mindset. Well, if you want to thrive in a way, thank you, Quad. Exactly. It's going to pass. You know me, I'm always speaking to the like, think positive and not in just like this woo-woo kind of state. We're talking about really think positive. And sure, initially it may feel like this is bullshit, Kelly, and I'm having real issues and I'm scared and all that. Okay, I get it. Take some breaths, feel how you feel, but then what are you going to do? Then what? Are you going to not stay in panic and feel clenched fists and, you know, a knot in your belly and your heart palpitating? Are you going to stay there? That does not help you. I keep speaking to, then what? Okay, you freak out. You may freak out several times a day. You may be on a trajectory of like, okay, I still don't know. I don't have the answers yet. I understand that. what I'm trying to tell you is begin to think about what else is there, right? Did you wake up this morning? Are you watching this live stream? Okay, right there you have something to be grateful for. Well, you know what? All is not lost. I'm alive. Some people haven't made it. Okay, again, I'm not trying to be callous or make light of that, but seriously, you are in the thriving zone. Did you eat a meal today? There you go. Be grateful. Did it taste good? Wonderful. Focus on that. Focus on, do you have leftovers? You can go back and have some more of it later. Do you have a way to heat it up? You know what I'm saying? I made this tea I'm sharing with you guys. Like, seriously, that tea tastes good. I'm very grateful for my cup of tea. I spent basically zero money. I put some mint leaves in some water, steeped them in a little bit of sugar, and then boom. And I have a pitcher full of delicious tea. I'm very grateful for that. I mean that very sincerely. It's not like I'm not trying to minimize things or make light of it. I'm telling you, I paid my rent. Today's April 1st. I paid my rent yesterday. And for a while, I was like, okay, do I pay it? Do I like pay part of it and hold on to some cat? Like, what do I had the same considerations, but I was like, no, pay your rent. Pay your rent, pay your lights, pay the whole thing. Because why? Now I can relax and breathe easily. Like, okay, April's done. So I know I have 30 more days to figure out May. Seriously. And it's going to come. It's going to unfold. None of us can say right now what's going to happen in a week, in a month, in a year. You can't say what's going to happen tomorrow, really. You know, you might say, okay, well, XYZ is due tomorrow, but can you say when you wake up tomorrow, this is what's going to happen tomorrow? Not for sure. And so why not spend your time thinking about what you can do today? How you can make today the best it can be. Instead of worrying about something that hasn't even happened yet, focus on how you can make the best out of these moments. Right? And so you get to watch my live stream and I get to tell you all these wonderful things. I wore a pretty yellow dress for you today. So, you know what I mean? You can smile. You can think of something that makes you feel good. Surely we have much more time to watch shows on TV, or like my son was like, we're going to have a riddle night. And, you know, so like try to find the answers to these riddles. I've been sitting up playing Monopoly with him. We played Taboo last night. You know, stuff like that. You have more time to do things that are interesting to you. Maybe you just need a nap. I had an amazing nap yesterday. I haven't had a nap. I think I slept for 2 hours in the middle of the afternoon. It was incredible. I haven't had a nap like that, and I don't even know. I can't tell you how long it's been. That's a big win. You know, I could go on and on with some little things. As I told you, a big thing that happened is I got a phone call from a friend of mine in East Africa. You want to help this woman set up a business. I was like, wow. Now, could I have imagined that was going to happen? Could I have predicted that, oh, your problems are going to be solved, Kelly, because you're going to get a phone call about helping someone set up a business? I would never have thought of that. Like, why would that cross my mind, right? I'm thinking of the limited amount of things I know that, you know, within my usual bag of tricks that I could do, but it had nothing to do with that. And so I believe it was because of me continuing to believe that things are going to, I do think that. Do I know for sure that's why it happened? No, I don't know. I to believe that my continuing to speak positively and believe that good stuff is going to happen leads to good stuff happening. Right? I could do the reverse experiment and just come to you and talk about all the negative stuff that's going on and how horrible it feels and how scared I am. And oh my God, did you hear about this person and that person and another? We could talk about that. Would that feel better? Would you rather hear that? Because I wouldn't. And then I could see, like, after a week, 2 weeks, or 3 weeks, or 2 months, or whatever, of doing that same negative, the sky's falling, oh, horrible, I felt something, it's probably bad news. I could do that and then see what the results of that are and come to you with that news. But why would I want to do that? Why would you want to tune into that? Why would you want to participate in that? That's no different from participating in the other stuff that's going on. I'm not even talking about just the current state of events. I'm talking about period in your life. If you find yourself having regular interactions with people, hey Barry, what's going on? Thanks for saying hi. If you find yourself having, you know, same old recurrent arguments or doubts. So here's the thing. Okay, so a doubt. Got this call to do this work for this woman, this new client. Do I know how to do every single thing, like a foreign client? And so, no, I didn't know everything. Like off the bat, oh, here, do step 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No, I mean, I know some of the things, right? But I didn't know every single thing. And I had a moment like, can I, you know? And I was like, Kelly, you can do this. Of course you can do this. So you have to talk yourself through this stuff. You have to decide that even if you don't know how, is it possible? Let's say you have no idea how you're going to survive over the next 3 months, 1 month, whatever. If you pick the amount of time. I don't know how I'm going to pay my bills next month, Kelly. I don't know how I'm going to cover my mortgage. I don't know how I'm going to whatever it is over the next period of time. Okay, that's fine. That's real. Does that mean it's not possible to do it? Does that mean that there's no way on God's green earth that it can get done? No, it doesn't mean that. It just means you don't know how. You don't know how in this moment. So if you don't know how, what about you start imagining possibilities? Maybe it has nothing to do with the way it actually will get done, but you imagine possibilities. Like me, I imagined, I'm thinking, okay, well, I don't know how I'm going to pay the next few months. I don't know. Does that mean it can't happen? No. And when I think about it, I think about the things that I'm used to doing, the things I'm used to. Okay, I'm used to working for certain clients. I'm used to doing like my teaching, which is, by the way, completely shut down. I'm used to doing those types of things to earn the money that I live on. Is that going to keep happening? Well, guess what? Everything I do, like I said, teaching's been totally down, so I'm not making any money from that now. My regular business, that's absolutely back up too. So when am I going to get paid again? I don't know. But am I going to start going, oh my God, what do I do? Help, fear, doubt? No, because something will happen. Do I know how? Do I know when? I have no idea. I really don't. But I'm continuing to do work every day. I'm continuing to attempt to build business as best I can. I mean, I don't know how much of that. I need to be on my game with like my website. I need to be on top of that. I'm not. And that's procrastination. I have no excuse. But what if, you guys, what if I said, okay, well, great, guess what? I have this time now. I can sit up in the morning, get up and spend like an hour. I can commit to like every morning, say from 9 to 10 o'clock, 8 to 9, whatever time you want, whatever time is good for you. If you're a night person, do it at night. If you have a break in the middle of the day, do it in the middle of the day. We can all commit to spending like 1 hour building something that's going to help us. If it's earn money you're worried about, it can help you earn money. If it's being in good health, an hour doing something that's going to be, it doesn't have to be exercise. It could be being and imagining yourself in whatever state you want to be in. I could definitely take better care of my website because it's not up. I mean, it's up, but it's not where it needs to be. And I looked at outsourcing some of that because I was like, I don't feel like writing all that stuff. It's going to take a lot of time. And then I was like, no, Kelly, you don't need to be doing that. You need to do it yourself. And you need to streamline what you can do. So instead of me offering like the silver package and the gold and have all these different levels of things, no, I'm going to do one ball of services. Here's what it is. Right? If you want to come to me for some additional stuff, great, we can talk about that. But here's like your starter kit. Your starter kit for moving to the DR, some information and whatever. I'm going to put it all in one package, and boom, that covers it. Right? For a very reasonable price, people who are coming here and get information, there you go. I call it a starter kit because that's basically what it is. It gives you a lot of really good information. Lowest paid people are doing most essential jobs. Yeah, it makes us consider all about again, why are we paying those people the lowest? Teachers are now having to switch to online, right? I mean, so I will not buy into the fact that there's nothing you can do. Oh no, this victim thing, you are not a victim. You have breath, body, if you have the right mind to be able to understand the words I'm speaking or a book that you can read or some video that's telling you information like an online course, whatever, you have the power to make some changes in your life. Now it's up to you what you do with that. It's up to you how you perceive it. If you perceive that it's all bad news, well, get ready for some bad results. But if you decide, hey, you know what, I can do something. I'm not even sure what I can do, but I can do something. Maybe the first thing I can do is open my mind and go, there are out there. Maybe you just do that for 2 days yourself. I don't know how, but there's a way. I don't know how, but there's a way. I don't know how, but there's a way. And you ask for divine, guidance. You ask to be led. Like, God, talk to me. To tell me what can I do? I feel like I'm stuck. I feel like I have no resources. I feel like I'm, my back's to the wall. Talk to me. Speak to me in a dream. Let me see a sign. Whatever. However you choose to do that. But show me what's my next step. You can do this, you guys. You can do this. I'm not buying into you can't. I just don't believe that. And, could it be that if I were in like super dire straits, I'd feel differently? Maybe. But I've been in worse position. I frankly feel like part of the reason I'm in the position I'm in now, and granted, I'm not. No. no, I'm not in that business. If that's what you're talking about, I'm not in that business. I've been in a worse financial situation. I'm not in a fantastic financial situation right now, but I've been in a worse financial situation. I've been in a worse situation health-wise. All that kind of stuff. And I just continue to believe, and granted, over time, so now I'm farther ahead with working this like angle of belief and reading positive things and speaking positive words. I'm farther ahead now than I was a year ago or 2 years or 5 years ago. But you start, right? If I decided to go run a marathon today, I'd be in trouble because I'm not running very far. When I was going to the gym, I'd run, for a few minutes on the treadmill at different speeds, and then boop, that was it. And then I'd go do some other stuff. I'm not used to running like up a hill for 10 minutes or, doing 5 miles. I'm not used to that. Does that mean I cannot run a marathon? No. Maybe I can't run it today, but is it possible for me to run a marathon? Sure, it's possible. There are people with prosthetic legs that run marathons, so don't tell me that I can't run one. Do I have to practice? Do I have to get up to that place? Yes. It's the same thing with everything else we're talking about. You can do this. You can do this. How badly do you want to do it? How badly do you want to change your circumstances? How badly do you want to change your frame of mind? Those are decisions that you have to make. Those are choices that you have to make and go, you know what? I'm going to stop saying, I'm going to stop talking about the negative stuff. I'm going to stop talking about my problems all day long. I'm going to stop looking at my bills. Instead of being upset about you go, God, I have a light bill, and I have a place to live. That's a blessing. Flip it on its head. Oh my God, how am I going to pay my mortgage? I don't know, but guess what? I was in a good enough position to buy a house. Wow, that's a blessing. That's a blessing. Someone trusted me enough to give me a mortgage, to give me a line of credit to buy this house that I need to pay back. That's huge. And so maybe you can't pay the whole mortgage in one chunk. On the phone, you can negotiate. Everybody's negotiating now. Banks are happy to do refis. They're just happy that somebody's paying their bills. So they're happy to do refis right now. They're happy to restructure your loans, all that kind of stuff. Possible landlord restructuring, the way rent's getting paid. Some of them are suspending it for a period of time. You feel me, people? You feel me? Holla if you hear me. Can I get a like if you hear me? Yeah. So there's a group here in town. I posted this on some Facebook pages where there's been a GoFundMe account set up to help feed some of the local people who are really struggling, like people who have worked in restaurants. I'm talking about local Dominicans and Haitians who've been the ones who work in the restaurants or in the hotels or whatever other types of service, or just, kind of hand to mouth existing. And those people, I'm sure, are being hit very, very hard because that, 2, 3, 4, 500 pesos a day, whatever they're making, is gone for the most part. And so there have been some people in town who've organized to buy groceries and deliver them to these different people. I think it's a beautiful thing. And I can post the GoFundMe account when I finish this live stream. I put a link to it if you're moved to contribute, you can. When they did the first 2 rounds of collecting food, I was waiting for this one woman to tell me, okay, come on this day to drop it off, whatever, because I had some food from my house I was going to drop off. Well, I never heard from her. Sorry, I just got inundated. I didn't see your message until late, what have you. So I went out and I bought I mentioned this the other day, I went out and I bought a whole bunch of food for someone that I know, and I gave it to him. And, because he's got 3 kids and a wife and a mom who's been sick and all that. So I gave it to him. I don't know, that would feed their family for a while. And then I gave some other stuff to another woman to help her out and, paid her a little extra when she came to do some work for me. So I'm like, well, I wasn't part of that food contribution to the initial round of stuff that's been happening here, but I did some things on my own that made me feel good. And I almost wasn't even going to talk about that because I don't like to say, oh, I did this nice thing for somebody, because it's not about me. It's not about what I did. Really, it doesn't need to be mentioned at all, really. Yeah, I don't believe in that. I don't need. Yes, I give $10 to this organization today. It's just like, okay. I mean, you can. It's not like a bad thing to say that, but when I do it, I don't like to do it in a way that about me is drawing attention to me. That's not what it's about. So why did I bring that up? Oh, I guess maybe one to say, I'll put that link on there for the GoFundMe thing. You can take a look at that and see how you feel. But there's resources out there, you guys. One thing I like about being in this country right now is that it's a very, I don't know if I'd call it religious. I mean, definitely people go to church and they pray and all that, but it's more like it's more of a spirit-filled country. And people talk about God and they speak about how they'll always say, so they'll say, and by the way, this bra, it's a little bandeau thing I have on here. So if you think you're looking at my under goodies, not quite. People are very spirit-filled. I like that. I like being around people who have that sense of, that there is a creator of us all, that there's a higher power. And they do call it God. They do speak of Jesus, things like that. But it feels like it's more, it's not coming out of a book. It's not coming out of, they do refer to scripture and things like that, but I guess I'm saying it's in their hearts. It's really in their hearts. And I like that. I like being around people, especially at a time like this, who, and the thing is, it isn't just all the time where they talk about, well, if God's willing, I'll see you tomorrow. And not like in a doom and gloom way, but they're just putting God first all the time. And so I feel like, great, what a great place to be, because there's a recognition of that we are supported, that we are cared for, and I don't know, like for one time, this is maybe a couple years ago, speaking to a young woman here about that, and what was her concern? She had some kind of concern. I don't know if it's financial or something like that. I think maybe it's a sickness in her family kind of thing. And I was like, well, I was trying to offer her some words of encouragement. And she was kind of saying, well, if God's willing, kind of thing. And I'm like, well, yeah, definitely that. But also, like, we have the power to create. Like, God has given us that very power. So it's not just like, oh, I hope God's going to make this okay. God's, no, you make it okay, right? I've given you the power, made you in my image, all these kinds of things. And I don't, I'm not going to go into all the references now, but it's like I, all of us have the power to change our circumstances, to speak, excuse me. For those of you who got jokes, that's not COVID. It's because I'm talking a lot. Let me sip my tea. We have the power to create what we want. And I think a lot of people do not realize how strong this power is. So last night I was listening to this meditation when I was going to sleep. It's one that I had not listened to for a long time. I was just getting an update on WhatsApp in like our neighborhood group about what's going on in town. So that just for a quick side, a little pause, talking about now closing Las Terrenas, closing the sort of like the gates to the town, so there's no in or out for the next 15 days, because there had been people coming from Santo Domingo, I guess in other places, into our little town, because it's a great place to be, who may or may not be infected with the virus. And some of them are just like wanting to get out, because Santo Domingo, the places where there are big concentrations of people, the spread of this virus. And so some of those people have been wanting to come here, like, can I rent a villa? And people are like, no, you cannot come here and rent a villa right now. That's not a good idea. Some of the people are owners of villas, and folks here have been saying, no, like, we are contained so far so good in our little town. There were a couple of people who were diagnosed here, but they've been taken to other hospitals and being quarantined in places. So it appears, anyways, the mayor is now pushing for, and I didn't get to read the WhatsApp message, but I don't know if it's been approved, but he was pushing for a resolution that would allow him to close Las Terrenas essentially to all ingoing and outgoing traffic other than emergency, transport, so that people cannot come here and potentially spread the virus. People leave. There's no flights into DR, but there are people who have already been here. So Dominicans who've come from Italy, from France, from wherever, Canada, those places, and also foreigners who've come in and remained. And so some of those people are trying to come back, whatever, so they're like, no, shut it down, right? We're going to have our own shelter in place, stay at home as a town, as a community, to help manage things. So I expect when I have a chance, shut it down. Shut it down. So what was I saying before that? Sipping my tea, talking to y'all, saying not to laugh me, because I feel good. I don't know. I'm sure I was talking about something positive and saying, somebody give me a clue, what was I talking about? I put a pause and I forgot what I was going to go back to. Oh, we have the power to create, right? Oh, I know what it was. It was a meditation last night that I was listening to. So it's one of I listened to the meditation like years ago, and I really liked it because it talks about, first of all, when you're listening, it just goes into like your brain, your subconscious or whatever, and creates new beliefs, new patterns of thought. And it just basically talks about how we are powerful to create what we want in our lives, that we have that power, you know, from the divine, from our creator, to manifest, to bring about whatever it is we wish to see in our lives. This is great news, you guys. We don't have to wait on, you know, some particular date on the calendar or some supposed, you know, great monumental event to occur. You can do it right now. I'm doing it right now. I'm saying my life is great and it's getting better every single day. It is. My financial situation is supernaturally increasing every day. How's it happening? I don't know. I don't have to know. It's not my job to know how. It's just my job to say it and declare it and believe it. Okay, I'm lots of love and good family and friends and wonderful work that I enjoy. Absolutely, I believe that. I know it. It's not a belief. I know it. I know it because I spent enough time repeating it to myself and telling myself these things and having so many journals. It's not even a question anymore. There were times when I doubted, like, well, no, is it okay if I make this much money? What if about that? Yeah, of course I deserve it. Do I deserve to live a life like this? Yes, I do. I deserve. In fact, I want one that's even better than this. I have things, like I said, my dreams are getting bigger and better, and you want everything for yourself at the expense of other people. I'm going to maybe even take what you have. I have no desire to do that, because why? There's enough for everybody. You don't need to take what I have. You know, no one, this whole notion of like haters, why would anybody hate anyone else? You can have exactly what someone else has, right? The wife, for example, the exact husband, but you can have a partner, for example, if that's what you want, that's as good as what you believe someone else has, as handsome, as wealthy, as funny, as popular, as a lover, whatever you want, you have as great. I was just saying that, you know, you don't have to wish else has, like, specifically, or wish bad on someone else. You can have the same stuff yourself. So you're not going to go to the gym one time and come out like ripped. You have to go again and again and again. You have to speak positivity over your life again and again and again. Yeah, some days you're going to mess up. Sometimes you're going to be like, it doesn't work. And you keep coming back to it. If you quit, then you get quitters results. If you keep trying, even if you fall on your face a few times, you get up, you keep going. This stuff doesn't happen, you know, by accident. It doesn't happen overnight. It happens because you decide you're not going to give up. If you give up, well then, don't be mad when you don't give up. Don't give up. Here's the thing. Don't, and then, well, it doesn't work. No, it doesn't work because you gave up. It works. It works, but you have to keep at it. I know, for example, there's people I see in my life, a woman who I consider a coach, right? I paid her lots of money to teach me things. A lot of the stuff I already know, but she's at a much higher level, right? Her income is way bigger than mine. I got my notepad out, I'm writing stuff down, I'm trying to get more information. And the great thing I realized recently is that, in hearing one of her live streams that she did, it's so funny because I woke up one morning, I was thinking about, what about this, what about that, what things I was thinking about for my own life. And I was like, okay, I need to do this, I believe in that, I'm all for this, I'm gonna have this much money disposable. And I swear to you, when I listened to her live stream not long after that, she said, like, everything I talked about was like boom, 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 which she was talking. Wow, if that's not confirmation. Everything about her life is what I want my life to be. No, I'm different, and so I have different goals, different desires. But it does help me see that there's a congruence between the way that she's doing certain things, the results she's getting, and the way that I'm doing things and the results I'm getting. So instead of being discouraged, going, well, how come I'm not making 50 grand a month? How come I'm making 10 grand, whatever it is? I go, okay, Kelly, guess what? You're on the right track. Because the things she's talking about are exactly what you were talking about, the things you're thinking you should do. Exactly the same. My results like that are coming. So it means that my results are coming. It's growing. I have planted the seeds. I've been watering. I've been cultivating. Oh, Sean Penn. Oh no, Sean Penn Partners. Okay. So I don't know at this point. I don't know if you guys are hearing me or not hearing me. I don't know if it's buffering, what have you. But what I'm saying is I feel encouraged, because even though, you know, this person is maybe up here, I know of a few online people like this in the online space who are like making, there's one couple of them I know of who are making millions of dollars, like millions of dollars doing this online coaching, that kind of thing. I'm not even in that business really, but I use the tools that they're sharing to inform how I live my life. And so I'm not a millionaire yet, but I'm a millionaire, right? I don't see it in my bank account yet, but I keep claiming it. I keep saying it. I keep acting as if. I keep believing. And I know that, so these women have been doing these things for much longer than I've been doing, right? It's the challenge, all human beings, how we respond to the exactly, how you respond to the challenge is the key. That's exactly what I'm saying. Whether you come from a silver spoon background, you come from, it's rags to riches, or it's still rags, or you're struggling, we're all, excuse me, in the same boat in terms of how you choose to respond. It's just like how you treat people, right? Someone could be nasty. Russian bombers en route to the US. Wow. So listen, now's the time to think about peace, imagine well-being, because the collective energy is so much stronger than any one individual thought. So as a community of citizens, global citizens, we need to be thinking peace and prosperity and well-being and health. That's the energy we need to be putting out to the collective right now. The fear and stuff is only building up more of that. The panic is only building up more of that. We need to be putting our attention on things that are helpful and positive. So yes, when you say that you come from a difficult background, but you've learned how to manage it, great. You use those tools to your advantage right now. So okay, I'm gonna save on this. I'm not gonna use up maybe all this rice tonight. I'm gonna save some for tomorrow, but not in the hoarding, afraid way, but just like in a way that makes sense, right? We all need to be paying attention to like how much money we're spending, and are we doing frivolous things, stuff like that. So I hope you guys can hear me. Again, it's like buffering. I'm not quite sure what's going on. Yeah. That's my message for you guys today. I love you, and I hope you love yourselves. I hope you will use this stuff, these tips I'm giving you, to make some positive changes, okay? It's all about how you choose to look at it. It doesn't mean it's not okay to be afraid sometimes. I understand that. But trust that we have the power individually and collectively. If we get together, we don't even have to be in the same space, but like use your energy to connect with other people who are looking for positives, who are seeking goodness, who are focusing on what's good and what we can do to improve our situations, okay? Are there any final thoughts from anyone out there? Any final thoughts? My final thoughts are that no matter what's happening now, you see how you create panic? Delivering medical supplies, exactly. So you focus on what's good. And so, I'm so happy that I'm coming in clear. This is great. So just so you know, I'm streaming on the phone now. It's like doing that little buffering like circle thing I see. So I'm glad to know that I'm still coming in. Yeah, so I hope you understand the message I've been trying to convey today and pretty much every day. It really, really, really matters what we think about, what we choose to put our attention on, because the more you focus on whatever that is, the more of that you're going to get, even if it's within your own body right now. If you're focusing on fearful stuff, you're going to be freaked out. If you're focused on the fact that, hey, the Russians are helping us now, great, we're getting a partnership, they're bringing medical supplies, wonderful. Even if that's not the whole truth, whatever, let's focus on that, right? I'll say this too, be careful sharing information where we don't really know where it's come from, what the source is, if it's true. Before you send another text message or a newspaper article or something you heard or something on Facebook or Instagram, ask yourself, is this going to help the people I'm sending it to? Is this going to make them feel empowered? Is this going to make them feel safe? Is this going to make them feel like there's some good to look forward to? Or is this just going to freak them out because they don't know what the hell's going on? If it's the latter, I would encourage you to really consider if you need to send that. Is it going to do good? Because what we need right now is we need people who are standing on the front lines going, here's some good news, here's what you can do to improve your situation right now, okay? None of us can change maybe what's happening in the White House or what's changing across the world somewhere necessarily, right? But we can change how we're feeling. We can change how we deal with another person. So we change how that person is feeling, and that which in turn changes how that person deals with someone else in their lives. It's a chain reaction. And so if we continue to deal in ways that feel healthy and strong and be like, hey, I woke up this morning, I did, 25 sit-ups and I did some push-ups. I feel great. Let's focus on that today. Hey, have you done your exercise today? You talk to your friend over the phone or on video call, whatever. those are the questions I want to know about. What have you done? I talked to a girlfriend of mine today in DC who did her first online teaching session. I was like, great, good for you. And she looked really happy about it. She sent me a picture of herself. I was like, you look great. She's a natural. I'm sure she's going to do well. She was worried before about how she's going to make money. Boom, now she's making money. It's a nice amount of pay. I think she said people are making up to like $35 an hour doing this. That's fantastic. That's good news, right? There's all kinds of online workout things you can do. And, there's just so much. I started an online introduction to negotiation class from Yale, you guys, from Yale, a free class that I'm learning about some negotiation skills. Perfect, because I'm going to need those. But I need to go do that now. I need to do some more of that. So that is my message. Again, choose what you choose to focus on, choose how you choose to focus on it, and veer toward the positive, because if nothing else, it's going to make you feel better in that moment. And even if it seems like that's bullshit, that's crap, that's like, you're not facing reality. Reality is what you decide to make it. Okay, I could face the reality that I'm here in this country alone, without my son. What am I going to do? What if someone comes up in my driveway right now and has a gun and wants to break into my house? And what if I could focus on that? That's going to make me nuts. Why would I do that? Or I could focus on what a beautiful day it is. I put on this lovely yellow dress and I get to have the benefit of streaming with people who are supporting me and who are offering me their love. By the way, I was asked to say this today. I always put in my description boxes about buy me a cup of coffee, that link. They said, all you creators, tell your viewers that there's no fees now for that. So there you go, there's the announcement. If you choose to buy me a cup of coffee or a juice, there's no fees for that. I don't know if PayPal or any of those have waived their fees. There's all that kind of stuff. So that's my public service announcement for those who wish to contribute. Thank you, I love you. I feel like I'm offering a really helpful, valuable service to people. I'm gonna keep doing it. I'm not relying on anyone to give me money so I can live. My God, my creator provides me more than enough of everything I need. I don't have to ask anybody for air to breathe, right? It just comes naturally. And so everything's gonna come to me naturally. It's gonna come to me without me having to stress or struggle or worry about it. Why? Because I say so and because I believe so. The same is true for you, okay? So there's plenty for all of us. We don't have to effort this doesn't have to be a struggle, okay? You can deal with your fear, you can process your fear, and you can say, thank you very much. I know that's my ego trying to protect me. I understand that's like my defense mechanism kicking in to help. That's like a survival mode thing. I get that. Thank you very much. Right now, I'm fully capable of surviving. I have my wits about me. I have my health. I have food. I have a place to live. For at least today, you can step aside and let me just relax. Because what's going to be better for my health, frankly, is relaxation, okay, than fear and panic. So thanks so much, fear and panic, for coming to let me know you're protecting me, but I don't need that right now. Thanks. Talk to you later. And if it comes back in an hour, go, okay, no, still, I'm good. Thank you, fear and panic. Thank you, ego, for jumping in, making me worry about the whole world because you're trying to protect me. I get it, but right now, no, I got this. I'm choosing to be mindful and grateful, and I'm choosing to take some deep breaths instead. That's helping me actually feel better. Okay, and for those of you guys who have not done this before, it's going to be like you're going to have to like flex that muscle again and again and again. It may not come right away. It's not like you do it one time and the boogie monster goes away. You do it again and again and again. Just like yes, my son is doing his schoolwork online now. I have to give credit. That school was on it right away. And so within a matter of days, they were up and running. So he does his schoolwork online, and I'm supplementing. Like today, I was like, okay, I need you to give me, what did I tell him today was amphibians, reptiles, and mammals. I went the definition of each and examples, kind of easy stuff, but something for him to keep him busy. He's teaching himself Beethoven and Mozart on the piano, you guys. Can you believe that? I'm impressed. Because of course he can't have his piano lessons, but he's been doing on his own. So he listens and he plays, he listens and he plays. So, and he also has this like online, it's like piano, I guess like a tutorial. He showed me yesterday. It's like, so if you see the keyboard across the screen, basically, it shows like the notes coming down. So it'll like ding, like the C, then the C will light up, and then another one will come down, will be the A. And so it shows you like which notes to play and in what sequence. You can play all these different songs. So he's into it. He's also online a whole bunch, looking at different stuff. And honestly, I'm not putting a whole bunch of restraint on that because, like I said, we play games, we've painted. You want to see our painting? I'll take you over and show you our painting on the other part of the patio. Hold on, let me sip my tea. And our Monopoly is still set up here. Okay, hang on, I gotta move some stuff around real quick. You can see how I'm living, a little bit. Okay, so see over here, that's the Monopoly board. I put this on top because the other night it was kind of windy and I didn't want our pieces to blow away. But see, we have our little stuff set up there, covered up, and also so the cat doesn't get on there and knock stuff around. So we've been playing Monopoly. This time I'm beating him. He beat me last time. I'm beating his butt this time. No mercy. No mercy. And here we have our little painting station. Can you see that? So this was my side, and that's what he painted over there. So we have our paints here. It's dry now that we haven't painted in a few days. And I put a towel on top, one of these old towels, you know, just so it can get dirty and it won't matter. You know, like I said, we played Taboo. We got a whole bunch of games in here. We played this game called Brain Quest for kids. You ask these different questions and, you know, I'm doing things like that. So we went up to the pool the other day, jumped in the pool, did some races, did some calisthenics, went to the beach. I played him in a game of horse and basketball the other day. Took him out to this basketball court where there was nobody. It's a brand new court, nobody out there. I was like, let's go. So, so we're keeping busy, sort of, not super busy, but a little bit, enough, you know? That's what's up over here. That's what's up, okay? So I have given you my best. I will give you some homework for those who choose to do it. For those who really want to step up their game, pardon me, I gave you guys this before. No one responded back to me about, pardon me, about how it may have affected them. But write down, make it easy, 5 things you're grateful for. You can do it like right now, 5 things you can think about that you're grateful for in this very moment. Okay, here's a hint, you're alive, right? And you can break that down to like, my heart's beating, or, oh, I love the way my hair feels today, or, oh my gosh, the sun is nice and warm. It could be anything, 5 things. You could make it 10 things, right? The fact that, you know, think about, if you're wondering about how am I gonna pay these bills, ask yourself again, is it true that I absolutely cannot pay my bills? Is that a true statement? I absolutely have no way to pay my bills. Is that true? Is it possible that something could come through? Of course it's possible, okay? I am terrified that I'm gonna lose my job and I'm gonna be homeless. Okay, but do we know this for sure? Like, you know, begin to ask yourself these questions and like, check yourself. When you feel like your brain, your imagination has gone crazy and has run out the door and is down the street and like, you know, running naked in the street with its arms flailing, if your imagination is doing that, grab that little sucker back and be like, excuse me, do we have proof of this? No. So stop going nuts. Chill out, breathe, write some stuff down and go, okay, do I know for sure this is a fact? Is it possible that something could happen that I'm not even aware of how it could happen, but is it possible that maybe things will actually work out really well? It's possible, okay? Don't even try to figure out the possibilities. If you want to, if it feels like it's fun to you, go ahead, but if it's causing you stress, don't do it. Just that, you guys, just try that for a little bit and see how it makes you feel. Let me know if you want to leave some comments. I'd love to hear back from you. If you want to send me an email, I'd love to hear that too. If you want to send me a love gift, I'd love that too. If you want to just say, Kelly, I think you're awesome, I'd love that too. Look at that, see? So you're great. So you're in a position to help other people. So you can send me a love gift, Quad, for example. Good for you. I'm really proud of you. That's wonderful. Okay? Mwah. Bye, you guys. I'm off. I'm going to go see my son now and spend some time with him. Okay? Have a great day, evening, morning. Have a good life. Bye.